Thousands of flights and rail services across Europe have been cancelled because of heavy snow.
The cancellations have stranded passengers and ruined Christmas holiday plans for thousands of people. For more on the travel chaos, Europe correspondent Philip Williams reports from London. Philip, good morning. So wherever you might be talking to us from this morning, are you snowed in there as well?
Well, it's not too bad. I'm in central London and you can move around on some of the roads, not all of the roads, especially on some of the higher ground. They're just too snowy and sad to say, this place just isn't built to cope with real winter weather. And 2 years in a row now, Britain has had some really severe winters and they're just not able to, seems to learn the lessons that a couple of inches of snow paralysed this town and way beyond. You've got this terrible sight now of Heathrow Airport. They had a few inches of snow on Saturday. It's still paralysed. Hundreds of thousands of people have been caught in a backlog there, and there are thousands of people out there right now just starting to consider bedding down for the night for the third night in a row, and still no prospect of getting out. Some of those people may not get out until at least Christmas.
Let's do a call of the board if we can. Heathrow and Gatwick, are they operating, and can you let us know what's happening in the other major European ports as well?
Sure. Heathrow is operating one runway. They're allowing flights at night to try and clear some of the backlog, but it's a restricted service, so probably less than half of the flights are getting away there. All short-haul flights have been cancelled. Long-haul flights, luckily, to places heading towards Australia are okay. Some of them are still being delayed. Gatwick is more or less open, but again, experiencing delays. Stansted, which is another major airport, especially for short haul, is for some odd reason open and hasn't closed, so they seem to have evaded all of this. And then there's a whole host of regional airlines around Britain that have been either partially closed or closed altogether. Now, looking across to Europe, Charles de Gaulle Airport, angry scenes there. There was a woman confronting the Transport Minister who deigned to come out there saying, I've been standing here in the same clothes, no food and water for the last 3 days, what are you going to do about it? Well, the answer is not much, because what can you do really when you've got that sort of backload, especially of all the times for this to happen. In Florence, you've had closures there. Germany, many airports either partially affected or totally shut down. Now, in more northern climes in Scandinavia, where they're used to this, they're well equipped for it. They have the snow clearing machinery. They have the expertise to handle this because it's an everyday occurrence. But in the more southern climes, where this has really caught people unawares or unprepared, it's created enormous chaos. And the problem is, because of the Christmas rush, it's just such a backlog of literally hundreds of thousands, and that's just talking about the UK alone. And
we hear that also rail transport between the continent and the UK has also been seriously affected.
Absolutely. I mean, just down the road here, a couple of k's away, St Pancras Station, the terminal for Eurostar, there are literally thousands of people lined up round the block there. Some have been waiting for over 8 hours just to get into the building in the hope of getting a train. Now, the reason that the trains are way behind is because they've had to travel very slowly because of the snow. So the schedules are in a complete mess there. You may remember this time last year, Eurostar's trains were stuck in the tunnel. And there was chaos for a different reason, so their track record around Christmas isn't looking too good. So that's another way that's out of the country that's being blocked. Two ways, and the only thing really running to schedule at the moment are ferries.
So just finally and quickly, is there any particular information you can share with us about flights to and from Australia?
Well, there is information from Qantas, and I would urge everyone to check individually if they're going to be flying, because this information may or may not be right. The information is that most of the flights from Australia and with connecting areas in Asia are flying to Britain. Okay. They do hope that normal service will be starting again, but coming out of Heathrow. That's the big question mark, and we simply don't have answers there yet, and we just don't know. To be absolutely sure, there will be lots of disappointed passengers hoping to make it back for Christmas that at this stage looks like they certainly won't make it home in time.
Philip Williams, always good to talk to you. Stay warm.
Thank you.